financial application suite that people say is like the most important, and from my view, the most expensive as well, and then maybe the most critical. It's called the core banking application. So most people call it the core banking server, the core banking application, CBA, many names. Can you delve into what this core banking thing is? Demystify core banking for us. Today we are discussing best practices for building financial applications. Everything we see in fintech rides on the tails of how good, how robust, and how secure financial applications are. So what we like to do when we delve into subjects is not to have any assumption, of any sort. We would like to, first of all, define things, clarify that we're on the same page, and then now move into the subject. So please, from your view, what are financial applications?
So a financial application will be any software, any application that drives the business process that uses money. So anything at all that you are implementing that drives money management is a financial application. And that can range from whether it's a payment gateway you are building, or you are doing a pension management system, you are building a payroll, you are doing something on investment management, cryptocurrency, lending, digital wallets, account management systems, utility payment system, which today people buy, recharge, buy data, pay for DSTV, or maybe it's agency bank, anything at all that you do that will look at a process to manage people's finances, money, is a financial application.
Interesting, thank you. I'd like to delve into one part of that financial application suite that people say is like the most important, and from my view, the most expensive as well, and then maybe the most critical. It's called the core banking application. So most people call it the core banking server, the core banking application, CBA, many names. Can you delve into what this core banking thing is? Demystify core banking for us in 3 minutes.
Okay, interestingly, as one of my role, I was head of enterprise application support, and core banking was part of it. And along my journey, I've had to understudy the channel management part of the core banking. That was FinApps specifically. So a core banking is just a system that a bank uses to manage their entire banking operation. I mean, it doesn't mean that there are no associated services that adjoins that banking, core banking. But it's the hub of everything a bank does. And this contains so many modules within itself. You have things like customer relationship management, and within that is where you center your regulatory management of the customer information, like things like the BVN regulation. You have the general ledger management in it. You are going to have the account management itself, ability to place savings, current or investment account. Asset management is part of it. Treasury management, channel management. Lending is also a core component of the core banking itself. You have automated clearing house, which handles things around clearing of payments. You have documentation management, because when people are coming into the core banking, they have to keep certain documents. And you also have some reports that are part of it. Trade finance is part of it. So it's a big entity that has centralized most of what a bank will need to run their operation.
Interesting. A couple of questions there, so that let's delve into it right now. So you mentioned regulations, and I just there thinking, tomorrow the CBN says, whoever is going to be the president 2023 says, I don't want BVN again. I want NIN or some other N, right? I want some ID. What you're saying is that every single bank, microfinance bank, or anybody that has a core banking that they're posting entries into, will need to go to their regulatory layer, wherever it is that they write logic, and change logic there. That's what you're saying?
Yes. So most core banking comes by default with a customer relationship management module, but that will not be specific to several countries' regulation. By default, they recognize that there are some documents like driver's license, international passport, that might be needed to support a customer's KYC information. But when you have something like NIN, people might then have to go in to do some customization to say, where do we profile NIN in this system? It might be as simple as just adding one more type of ID. But certain types of ID might have more information. Like when BVN came in, BVN was not really like an ID. It doesn't have an expiry date. Typically, as you have an ID, that you have date of issue, expiry date, place of issue, and things like that. So it took a different customization to make sure that the system can be ready to recognize the purpose of BVN, because then BVN became that if you don't have BVN, you can't do transaction, which means certain rules must be provided within the system to make it recognize that the absence of this entity has an impact on the transaction capability of a customer. So for that, you have customizations, which you either call the OEM to come back to help you, or you get somebody who is skilled, who is experienced, who has been trained to also do such kind of scripting for you.